A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk, the program where we highlight political issues concerning Nigeria. I am Ubong Usoro, your host on the show tonight. We'll go to Anambra State to have a discussion with the African Action Congress 2025 governorship candidate, not aspirant, governorship candidate of Anambra State, Chioma, who we hope will be joining us as we try to talk about Anambra's election. They just concluded last month's election in Anambra and what it holds for our democracy moving forward. But before we get straight into the discussion, we'll also like to show you some of the happenings in Nigeria as regards some political discussions that have been up in the country at the moment going forward. This is what it means for us as a country, all right? So lots of interesting conversation tonight on the program. Don't go nowhere. This is Big Talk. Let's go for this break, and when we get back, hopefully we get into the conversation and we'll bring other details to you. Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
rule news in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
To Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
All right, tonight on the program, let's check out some of the things that are happening politically in Nigeria at this time. We have a couple of stories we'd like to share with you as to what is happening politically in Nigeria at this time. A lot of interesting conversations, a lot of interesting stories that came in earlier today. All right, so we see Tinubu nominate Ibas, Dambuazo, 63 others as ambassador. All right, so President Bola Tinubu has written to the Senate forwarding for screening and subsequent confirmation of 65 ambassadorial nominees, including Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, who was in Rivers State some months ago to actually where the president sent him to Rivers and all of that. Remember that conversation and what happened in Rivers State as he was representing the president as to bringing peace to Rivers State. All right, so he's been nominated as an ambassador, and we may be seeing Ibok Ete Ibas as an ambassador in no time. All right, let's take another story tonight. 16 lawmakers, 16 Rivers lawmakers speak out defect from PDP to APC. All right, so 16 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martin Ameule, has left the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for the All Progressive Congress (APC). All right, so this 16 lawmakers have defected from the PDP to the APC, and somebody said, "Is this the second time they're defecting?" Because I can remember very well that some time ago in the past, we saw them defecting, and those conversations remain as to, are they re-defecting? Is there something like re-defecting? Right? Those are conversations that Nigerians will want to know, and Nigerians will want to ask as a defection. Are they defecting back and forth? What is happening? Well, we can tell you authoritatively at this moment that the 16 Rivers lawmakers, as speaker, have defected again from the PDP to the APC. So they are led by Speaker Martin Amorele. They've left the People's Democratic Party for the All Progressive Congress. And at this moment, they can be said to be members of the All Progressive Congress. And that is some of the information that we have and we're bringing to you at this time. All right, so let's take another story. Shedding innocent blood over Defense Minister Musa. All right, so the newly appointed Minister of Defense, retired General Christopher Musa, today declared that the era of shedding innocent blood in Nigeria is over. Remember that Musa previously was the Chief of Army Staff. He was the Chief of Army Staff before being appointed as the Minister of Defense after his retirement. I covered his retirement at the Army headquarters here in Abuja, where he handed over to the new Chief of Army Staff. The new Chief of Army Staff, right? So, and now we are seeing him going into this capacity as Defense Minister. And there's been a lot of talks as to, is he going to perform well, won't he perform well? But as Nigerians, we want the defense of our country, the security of our country is paramount at this time. And we must do everything humanly possible to support our military infrastructure, support our military personnel to be able to put up the right fight and be able to win this war against insecurity, banditry, whatever name. We have several names now: kidnapping, insecurity, bandits, or known gunmen. In whatever name we call them, we have to win this fight. And General Christopher Musa, retired, has said, there I am up to the task. I am going to see how to help my country. So he needs our support at this time. So the story says the newly appointed Minister of Defense, retired General Christopher Musa, has declared an end to the era of shedding innocent blood. So hopefully that he's able to accomplish this task and all Nigerians will be proud. All right, so let's take another story now. INEC boss urges media to ensure accurate election reporting. All right, so the new INEC chairman, Mo Peter, has highlighted the media's vital role, urging journalists to ensure accurate election reporting to combat misinformation and protect public trust. Okay, so Mo Peter, SAN, the new INEC chairman, he's settling into his job pretty fast, and he's saying journalists are partners in progress, and journalists must support the government by reporting, by giving accurate election reporting and combating misinformation, protecting public trust. This is one sacred duty of all journalists in Nigeria, and the INEC boss is saying, journalists, please go ahead and do this at this time for our nation. I think it's an advice and admonition that is in the right. All right, let's take another story tonight. Opposition silenced by achievement, says Katsina governor. All right, so Katsina governor Diko Rada has highlighted major developments in security, infrastructure, and economy, saying that this development have silenced opposition in Katsina State. That is coming from the governor of Katsina State, who is Governor Diko Rada. He's a PDP governor at this time. All right, so he's saying that some of the things that he's been able to achieve in the state has actually silenced opposition, and he's talked about insecurity, infrastructure, and economy, and it's left for the people to actually say if this is what is the state of Katsina State or the position of Katsina State at this moment. But let's take another story now. Accord Party names Osun Caretaker Chairman, approves 2026 primary guideline. So the Accord Party Osun chapter has named Caretaker Chairman Victor Akande as the NEC approves guidelines for 2026 governorship primaries. Remember that the Osun governorship elections will be coming up in no time. All right, so other parties, the PDP has its house tiered apart, but other parties are trying to see how they can galvanize support, all right, to be able to win that particular elections. But let's take some more stories down too. Tinubu constitutes boards for BOA, UBEC, and NDDF. So President Tinubu has constituted boards for the Bank of Agriculture, UBEC, that's Universal Basic Education Commission, and the National Agricultural Development Fund to boost Nigeria's to boost Nigeria's key sector. One more story now. Osun Algon PDP clash over Supreme Court verdict and allocation. So Osun, that's local government, Association of Local Governments, and the PDP offer conflicting versions of the Supreme Court ruling dismissing a suit over withheld local government allocation to the state. Then the last story now. All right, so we've done all of the stories. Let's go for a break. But before then, let me lead you into what we want to be talking about tonight. We'll be having conversation with the African Action Congress 2025 candidates for Anambra election. Her name is Chioma Ifemeludike. Right, she will be joining us too as we have this conversation tonight. Remember that in the just some months ago, last month, we had that election that came out in Anambra State, and we saw the governor of the state, Charles Soludo, winning a second term. That's Professor Charles Soludo. And one of the persons that came into the ring and threw in our hearts as to contesting in that particular election, Chioma Ifemeludike, a TS parent, somebody who's done a lot of screen work, and of recent we've seen her being very involved in politics. And we could want to ask question, what is the nexus between being an activist or filmmaker, a humanitarian, a spokesperson and advocate for good governance, and going into the ring and wanting to represent your state as a governor, especially knowing that the Nigerian political system demands a lot of financial muscle and demands a lot of grassroots mobilization, and sometimes you need resources to do this, right? And we know that when we talk about women in politics, yeah, we could try to play ostrich, but we know the terrain could be a little bit, subtle and difficult out there. Those are some of the discussions that we hope to have tonight on the program. But let's go for a short break, and when we're back, hopefully Chioma has joined us, then we'll get straight to our discussion. We'll be back after this break. Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
very numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festival is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Big Talk, a program where we highlight political issues concerning Nigeria every night when we come on the program. Joining us tonight is Chioma Dike. Chioma was the 2025 African Action Congress governorship candidate for Anambra State, and she gave a good account of herself, being the first time she's contesting. She was contesting to becoming governor of that state, Anambra State. And you know, Anambra is a state where we have a lot of political titans. Former governor like Chris Ngige, Peter Obi, and the rest from that particular state. So Chioma joins us tonight all the way from Anambra. Very good evening to you, Chioma. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm very well. And you?
I'm fine. Let's talk about your going in, throwing your heart into the ring last month during that election. What spurred you? What was the motivation behind wanting to be the governor of Anambra State?
Oh yeah, like I always said, the motivation is, you know, knowing that we need good governance at this time in our society where everything is going wrong. The resources are available, resources are not competent, but we need better hands, competent hands, strong hands, firm, decisive leaders.
All right, so why choose AAC? There are a lot of political parties, and why did you choose to run under the platform of the AAC?
Sorry, say again.
I said, why did you choose to run under the platform of the African Action Congress, the AAC? Hello, Chioma, can you hear me? All right, so I think we're having some difficulty, and we'll try to bring Chioma back, and I think we're having a little bit of challenge hearing me. But Chioma, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. I said, why did you choose to run under the platform of the African Action Congress?
Yes, because the African Action Congress is the only party with the right roadmap, you know, to liberating Nigerians and giving them a better society. And when you look at the constitution, the internal politics in the African Action Congress, the leaders, you know, you'd realize that the idea that the party was built on, you know, you realize that the African Action Congress is the only party right now, the only real opposition in Nigeria. Yeah. So, and also because as an activist and having our leader Omoyele Sowore as a dogged activist as well, he created a platform where young people can have a chance to, you know, be part of leadership, to have the opportunity to go into the ring and, you know, show their capacity. Yeah, so the opportunity Comrade Omoyele Sowore has created for some of us is something that we cannot deny or avoid.
All right, so
that is why.
Yeah.
That is why I'm running. That was why African Action Congress became the alternative.
All right, so Anambra is a highly competitive political environment, right? We have strong political parties like ABGA, who's had a governor with Peter Obi before, the Labour Party, where Peter Obi got almost 90% or 97% of the presidential vote in Anambra, and the APC, which is also, you know, trying to be very popular in that particular state, right? And what gave you the confidence to go into the ring and try to challenge those kind of political parties that have, some will say, they have the financial muscle and have the spread? There's one language that is frequently used in the political terrain that have the structures. So with little or no structure, what gave you the mind to wanting to challenge them?
So why would you assume it was little or no structure? You know, what we tend to call structure in our country currently is just, you know, a set of people who are, determined to, rip our society apart. When you say structure, I need us to differentiate criminality and structure. So, yes, if you're talking about criminal structures, then the African Action Congress, we don't have that. And we have no interest or intent to create a structure that is unaccountable or rips the people off, that does a transaction or a bargaining, that does not have the interest of the people. So the one thing I was sure about was I had to go in the ring and be an opposition and remind the people that they have a chance. Once again, to reject that criminal structure and then for themselves raise a structure that represents transparency, accountability, truth, justice, equity, fairness, for everything a society should be. So I had to be in the gap to tell them that, hey, this business with a citizen that believes that with the support of the people, that she can get into power with the resources that, is there, that isn't anyone's private property, will go in there, use that resources for the betterment of the people. Right. So for us, that was what structure should be, or what, campaigning or election should be.
All right, amazing. Let's talk about funding. We know that in Nigeria, running a campaign takes a lot of funds, right? A consultation, meeting people, doing logistics. How were you able to source the funding to do all of this? Because a lot of women may be looking at you and they're like, I want to get in there, but I don't have the funds. How did you get the funding to do what you did?
Yes, even though I didn't see all the money, packed, in a trunk of a car or in a young van, but I saw it. I saw it through the ideas that we're going to create. I saw it that when we bring initiatives that are people-based, initiatives that, could touch and connect with the people, therein people who align with our ideas would come in to sponsor and support. And I think this should be the way to go.
All right, so I wanted you to give us an idea of how much. You just give us maybe an idea. Maybe if you may not want to mention all of the money, but you could tell us, was it really costing financially to run for office?
Yeah, you just cut me up when I was about to say that.
All right, go ahead.
So I hope you can just listen with an open mind.
Absolutely.
And once more, so that not just you, but people who are trying to understand, where I'm going can get, the message.
Right.
So it was through ideas. And when you're talking about people support Mount, I can't until I do a proper, audit. I can't tell you what this I'll say. From beginning, there wasn't. I knew it was going to be a conflict, but like I said, I saw it through the ideas and the strategy that we were going to use. For instance, we had a talent discovery and we're going to use that football tournament. We're going to use that to draw the attention of young people to place. And through this, there were people who particularly not.
I think we're having
with our party ideas. Don't the amount of money is that.
Right. I think we're having some network challenges. Let's go for a short break. Choma, will stay with us because I'd like to ask what was the reception? Did you connect with the people? How was the reception from the people? And what are the takeaways, that looking at what you've done, what are some of the things that you've learned as new lessons that you could also even pass on to other young Nigerians who want to see a new and better Nigeria? We'll come back after this break. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining the program, this is Big Talk on Global Television. I'm coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, and we're on DSTV 365. We're speaking tonight with the AAC, the African Action Congress, Anambra State 2025 governorship candidate, Chioma Dike, who's joining us live from Anambra as we have discussion about Nigeria and look at the elections. We are comparing notes and actually learning lessons from our experience during that particular Goba race. All right, so Chioma, thank you for staying with us.
Thank you too.
All right, so I'd like to ask, how are you received by your people, Ndi Anambra? I hope I got that right. How are you received by the people? How was your messaging received? When you sit back and look at the reception, what can you say about that? You know, going into the ring, presenting yourself. What was the reception like by your people? Hello, Chioma, are you with me? Oh, I think we lost her for a minute. Let's see if we can actually. Well, all right. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
It was staying by people. One, because they knew, you know, they accepted me as their own, of course. You know, I spoke the language they understood. I have the same blood, I have the same character. I am just like them. But what the fought was first, you know, a woman. It was strange for them to see a woman with so much zeal. So they fought with that, and then they fought with the truth. The truth that this personality was bringing to their faces and on the table wasn't something they were ready for. So in that confused, interesting. But would I say that it was a total rejection? No. I think it was a bit of, you know, fighting with the reality of what the truth I presented to them was. And I didn't try or lie to them at any time, or try to, you know, bargain or do the transaction they expected. That made it even, you know, a bit tough. But one thing I can say to you categorically is the event of the past month in Anambra State was history, and nobody, not even my people, will be able to erase the impact I made.
Absolutely.
The truth that I spoke, that's going to shine through till the end of time to their conscience. Whether they took it or not, whether they accepted it or not, that truth is constant and is going to be sacrosanct forever.
Right. So there are some persons have talked about the fact that you are an activist and you are somebody who's done a lot of work around being on the screen, experience in communicating with the people. Then I also like to ask about your assessment of those who are involved in conducting our elections, like the INEC. What was your observation and what is your assessment of INEC? So I've asked one, you're leveraging your experience from your private practice into politics and your assessment of how INEC fared during that particular elections.
Okay, when it comes to my profession, the acting business, I don't think there's anything I leveraged on. The only thing I leveraged on, which was one time off, was just to get a colleague of mine to come and do video. These are two different fields. One is make believe. The other one is real life, real people, real suffering, real pop.
Yeah.
So these are two different worlds of its own. Once I was done campaigning, in fact, I did a movie, and it was back to acting, playing a role that wasn't me. But in this context of politicking and canvassing and interacting with people in the grass, risking my life, this was real. Because I had things, I put everything at stake. I put my life, I put my image, I put my future, my family, my name. So there was really nothing to leverage on. Only even the popularity wasn't because even at the time when the campaign was running, I didn't get famous because I was an actor.
Right.
Politically, I got famous because I was pushing, because I'd already pushed myself so much, and there was no other option but to blow up. And that's why I keep advising people, get in the ring, no matter how the limitations you see around you, the challenges, just get yourself there. Right. Keep pushing. It's gonna blow up. And that was how it blew up in the faces of even the people that never saw it coming. And my candidacy went viral. So it didn't go viral because I'm an actress. Most people now know me as a politician. They don't even know I'm an actress. Because when it comes to popularity, I don't even think I had that much clout. But clout, it came up because of the work we had put in, I and my team. So that is the beauty of what we did. It wasn't about criticizing me, tried to ask me questions, grilled me on the issue, the matters arising, which was all about Anambra State 2025. And I challenged. And today I can boast to say I'm a go-in and seen-it politician and also an actress, and no one is going to take it away from me.
Assessments of INEC as the body who midwifed that elections.
I made a lot of statements about this, and particularly about the way forward. But like I said, there were lots of loopholes, and we hope this is not going to be what we're going to see in 2027 for the general elections. The vote buying was embarrassing. And then when you talk to INEC says the police, and the police say they're not EFCC. And this is the bane of, this is malpractice. It's just like arranging or planning an exam, and then you come to that exam and everybody is just doing malpractice. And then you ask the vigilantes, the supervisors, and they say it's not them, it is the teachers who are, the invigilators who are working with the students, and you ask the students and they say it is the principal, and nobody wants to own up to, take responsibility. And even the culprits, the ones that they were caught, what's happened? What happened to them? What justice was served? How were they treated? Have we seen any of them publicly jailed for their crime, so that next time, who can we hold accountable? Because the level of vote buying in Anambra State, it was insane. It was amazingly, every one of them.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Go ahead. We're listening to you. All right, so we're having some network difficulty. All right, I think Choma is back. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just complete the thoughts.
Yeah, so that's it. So there were so many places to poke holes and say that the commission did not meet up to expectations.
Right.
So that's it.
Okay, so let's talk about women in politics, because as somebody who has been a torchbearer, women in politics, do we need more women participation? And what is the incentive? What can be the driver? Because when you look at the population, women have over, they can decide any election if the women come together, because in Nigeria, they have over 56 to about 60% population, meaning if the women decide that this is the person who are voting population, I mean, they can actually vote somebody and the person gets into office. But oftentimes, it seems that they are not together, and there seems to be a lot of division maybe among the women folk. Are we going to see more women? And are you starting like a renaissance of calling Nigerian women, especially young, enterprising women who are doing well for themselves, into politics?
Oh yeah, we've been doing a lot of work trying to organize women, and also having done what we did in the last elections in Anambra State. A lot of women reached out to us saying that they were motivated, and yes, more women. You can never overemphasize the need for women to be in politics. Women are they bring a new ginger. They bring a new, they can turn things around suddenly. For instance, there was a sudden trend while we're campaigning, and it was all men, and it was just myself. And then I put up a picture where I was wearing a very nice dress, and suddenly everywhere went on flames. Do you think a man would have done that? No. So we spicing things up. Women are the ones that have the capacity to turn things from 0 to 10. That's how powerful women can be in the political sphere. So women need to be encouraged. Women need to be given incentives, given priority. Women need to be given subsidies in whatever way or form, whether it's nomination in inter-party politics, whether it is just giving them the front line. You can't, like in the when we were doing the peace accord signing, and I was going to get a spot, and every one of them was so tight, and they didn't want to give me a spot. I didn't get that, and suddenly when I got a spot, the Labour Party candidate was like, I was in his face, and I was like, it's all men, there's no woman, it needs to be a woman. And he said he doesn't care. I need to leave his family. I was like, I'm not in your face directly. So there's a fight. There's a fight.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your party now, because we have little time left. The African Action Congress. We have information that you had your convention, right, just some few days ago, and you were also elected into a position in the party. You may want to tell us more.
Oh yeah, it was our national convention. Yes, we had to re-elect the national working committee of our party, because already the time for the just passed NWC had elapsed. And so it was statutory process that by INEC rules and guides that we re-elect leaders to also strengthen, inter-party, politics. So that was what happened. And we all gathered in Abuja. Delegates gathered in Abuja across the states in Nigeria. So, and we had our conventions, and I voted as a delegate and then stepped forward for the position of the deputy chairman, Southeast of the African Action Congress, and I was voted or nominated unopposed to represent the Southeast in my party. So that is the update.
Right. Congratulations on that. So what are we expecting? What should we be expecting from Chioma Dike going forward as we look into the future now? What should the Nigerian people be expecting from you?
I don't know why you keep quoting my name. My name is not Chioma Dike. My name is Chioma Grace Ifemelu Dike. You know, that's a very instructive Igbo name. So I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to you will not be very happy, you know. But it's okay. I understand it's quite tough. Sometimes you want to evade the hard work and just, you know, use the shorts. But it's Ifemelu Dike. So yeah, there's a whole lot. I'm a woman with a lot of ideas, a lot of things I'm doing in my career. And politically, already have a new assignment, 5 states. I used to be chairperson in Anambra State before I became candidate. I handled Anambra State. Now I have 5 states, Ebonyi, Enugu, Abia, Imo, and Anambra State, to oversee and make sure that our party is strengthened in the Southeast. So it's a lot of work. But I trust in my passion, my courage, and determination to be able to get this work done right. And have our party inscribed in the hearts of Igbo. Yeah. Right. So are you going to be, there's a lot of coalition going on, major somewhat. Will your party be considering merging with maybe some other political party to form a vanguard, maybe going into elections and all of that? Sorry, come again. I said we have more like coalition of some members of different political parties. Is that what you are considering? Maybe joining with other political parties to form a stronger force? Oh, I think our national leader, Moyele Sowore, already stated emphatically that we're not ready to go into coalitions, especially ones that are intertwined with corruption and incompetence, one that, are a bit shady and people of shady character. So until we see people who are credible and are ready, to move in for a paradigm shift, people who align with our ideologies, that we can merge. Merging means compatibility. When you merge or synergize, it means something can go into something and become one. But when, you can mix oil and water, right? So that's how we are with some of these people who claim to want to do a coalition. So we're not interested in anything that stains our shirts or that is not in line with giving Nigerian people a better life and better society, or people that haven't the right character when you look at their past performance as leaders. Right. So personally now, other politicians from other political parties, I know they may have reached out to you. I guess they have. What are you telling them? Hello, can you hear me? All right, so let's see if we can bring Chioma back on the line to get the last question that we have for her tonight on the program. We're having some network challenges at the moment. Hello, Chioma, are you still with us? Oh, we're still having a bit of network challenge. Let's see if we can get that sorted as we bring Chioma back to... hello, Chioma, are you still with us? All right, so maybe this is where I really needed Chioma to say our last words on the program tonight before we leave the show. Let's see if we can bring her in one more time to actually conclude the show. But we've been speaking to the African Action Congress AAC 2025 candidate in that just concluded last month Anambra election. She is very optimistic about the future, and the thing she's saying is about how... all right, so Chioma, before I let you go, can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you. All right, so my last question for you tonight is, are politicians from other political parties reaching out to you, and what are you telling them? Well, they have the right ways to reach out. I think they've got their eyes for good things, you know. But then, like I say to them, I've not had any reason to leave the African Action Congress. African Action Congress, AAC, is home. This is where I find solace and comfort. This is where I find comrades who have the same passion that I have. So I don't have any intention to leave. Not today, and I'm not even sure about tomorrow. So I think that's the truth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chioma Ife Molodike. I hope I got the name right. Thank you so much for speaking to us tonight. We really do appreciate your time, taking our time from your busy schedule to speak to us. And we wish you all of the best in your future endeavor. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Global TV.
All right, people. And that's the size of our program for tonight. We've been speaking to the AAC candidates during the Anambra governorship election, our experience and some of the things that she noticed throwing her heart into the ring. It's been a wonderful conversation. Like she said, go in there and try to be who you have always thought about being, right? Irrespective of the challenges that you may have. My name is Ubongo in Abuja. I'm saying bye for now.